Hi everyone, Cassie here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel for another video. Today we have the full release for Trinity stamps. Let's go through it. I'm so excited. This is for the April 2022. We're going to start with our 3x4 stamp set. This is called Tiny Fairy Silhouettes and it's darling. It has the 4 little fairies. They're all little silhouettes. We've got these cute little embellishment type stamps to go with it to make it almost look like they're swirling their wands, or we've got stars, different types of stars, and then the sentiments say wishing you a, and then fairy, and then happy day, and then our die that goes with it cuts out all of our fairies and some of our stars, if I can get it out of there, and then also the word fairy. So darling, darling, darling little set. I think that's just so cute and some fun little possibilities with that. I know some of y'all love fairies, so there's that. Let me show you a card I made using it. Isn't that fun? I got a lot of sparkle and shimmer on there, but you can have a lot of fun with the color combos on that one, I think. Okay. Moving on, we have the Rainbow Snail, and as you can tell, I've already been stamping it up a little bit there, or inking him up, and he's a 4x4, and he does have a matching die set to go with him. Let's pull that out. So it's for the snail, the hat, the heart, and the words happy birthday. And I have found that the easiest way to stamp this is just kind of stamp the snail. Then you can die cut it out, and then you can just start stamping these pieces on top, because they aren't supposed to line up perfectly. They're kind of a little bit off, as you can see. So how fun is that? You could have a lot of fun with this little guy. All right. Now we'll move on. Our next one is the Majestic Unicorn stamp set. It does have a matching die as well, so we'll go ahead and just pull that out. But the Majestic Unicorn, we've got our dies all over the place here. And so we've got the unicorn itself. We have the stamp that where you could stamp part of the horn for the unicorn. We've got some stars. Our sentiments say believe in yourself, you're beautiful, sending magical wishes your way, and sparkle mail. And on top of that, not only is there matching dies, but there is also, and the dies cut out the words, I love that, and a couple of the stars. We also have a stencil to go along with it, if you can believe that. So the stencil is, it's supposed to be a quick coloring stencil, and it lines up pretty nicely. Let me show you how I did it. So I was able to, you line up the body, you also have the hair, and then you have the horn, and you even have some stars if you wanted to do that, but I did a little ombre with it, and then I did some embossing powder over the top, which was super easy to do. I'll have to show you in a video, but isn't that fun? Oh, a lot of combos with that you could do as well. Next we have a 4x6 set called Oh Happy Day, and it is a fun one. And the matching die. So you can stamp this out, and yeah, that might seem a little, I don't want to say intimidating. I know some of you have mentioned that, but I love this. I think it's fun because we also have this die that will cut that out. Isn't that great? You've got the words, you also have the little elements in there, and then the just because. Isn't that fun? And let me show you the card I made with this one. I watercolored it, and I just left it on the watercolor paper, but like I showed you, you can die cut that out if you wanted to. But I had a good time coloring that for sure. And one that I feel like you could coordinate with it, like bring it in and you could do the two of them together on a card, would be this one, which is the Thinking Tree. And let's pull out its die. Once again, you have a die that will die cut out like the part of it, which is super fun. I know that the design team has done some really cool things with it, but isn't that pretty? I love it. So it's It's so whimsical. And then we have our cute little gnome with his hand in his pocket and he's waving. And your little elements to go with it. And then thinking of you. And here is the card I made with this one. I made a 5x7. And I just left it on there. Once again, did not die cut that out, but I did die cut out the other little elements in our gnome and our words, which I think is so fun. And once again, watercolor. Really loving doing the watercolor, especially on scenes like that. All right, our next one is a 4x8 stamp set called Fern-tastic. It's got some really cute sentiments in here that go along really well. So you've got your little ferns, which I think are great. And then our sentiments say, I'm your biggest fern. Hope you're feeling fern-tastic and best fronds fern ever. And so the die also will cut out the sentiments and then each of our ferns. So here is what I made using that. And then on the inside I have, I'm your biggest fern. Hope you're feeling fern-tastic. But I combined it with a set that I had had previously. I stamped it in gold. Isn't that fun? Oh, love it. All right, now we're going to move on to a stencil. Our stencil is the Terrific Terrazzo. And it is a 3-piece stencil set. And it marks on there, it says, like this one is Stencil C. This one is, I think I have it backwards. This one is Stencil B. And then we have Stencil A. So you would stencil down and then they just line up perfectly. So you can do different colors if you want to, or maybe even some different mediums if you want to. And what I did when I used it is I just marked where that was and then basically just stuck it down on top, because there aren't embossing lines on this one, but it's pretty easy to line up if you just follow a guideline. And let me show you a couple examples I made with that one. You just saw this one. I used it as a background there, obviously. And then I have it for another background that I did here. So another background there. But I think it's great, and I think it has a lot of different uses, not just like stone. I think it's, I don't know, I love it. I think it's great. All right, now we've got a bunch of standalone dies. Our first one is our Mini Slimline Blossom die, and you saw this one earlier on our little unicorn. But isn't that pretty? It's a beautiful little mini slimline. It has this beautiful embossed edge that it will put into, and it's intricate, but it even through this glitter cardstock, it die cut beautifully. So I thought that worked out great. Our next one is a fantastic Fronds Slimline Die. So check that out. And my sample with that one, I just have it as a background, but it gives a nice embossed line in there as well. And then it die cut beautifully. Super easy to die cut that one. Our next one is an A7 Birch Die. And I love the A7s now. You know, I've been using those like, or making those like crazy. And this one is great. I did it for this card here. So, you know, you could do it in the different colors of different trees that you wanted. And then I just kind of sponged on some leaves. But you could leave it as a silhouette as well. Isn't that fun? And then we have the Floral Swag, say that 10 times fast, and it is a slimline one. You saw it on this one earlier, so check it out. Oh, I think it's so cool. And I feel like there's a lot of possibilities with this one. I've had a lot of different ideas in mind on how to use it. Obviously, you know, it fits on a slimline, but you know, you could just do it partially on an A7, you could do it partially on a mini slimline, you could do it partially on an A2. You wouldn't have to have the full swag on the card. You could do parts of it, which I think give you a lot of options. So keep that in mind. Then our next one is a foiling, and it's a foil and cut die set. So if you've got a foiling machine, this one is great. I am not super like amazing at foiling, but I had 0 issues foiling this one, even on some colored cardstock. So I foiled that one, and then I decided to use some pencils after I'd foiled, just to give it a little bit of color. So I used colored pencils on there and just avoided those foiling lines, but isn't that fun? Oh, I love that. I love it, and I love that it die cuts it out, so that's really cool. Okay, we have the Fairy Trio die. You saw this one earlier on here. So it does these little beautiful silhouettes of the fairies. You could do them in any color, obviously, that you would want to. And there is some fun little details on them, and I like how it cuts out some of their, like their wing, inside the wing, which is so cool. So cool. Then we have the Scripty Mother's Day, and you saw it here, Happy Mom Day. Obviously, you could do the apostrophe S on there, so it could be Happy Mom's Day or Happy Mother's Day. So we've got Happy Mom Day, Mother, and then the apostrophe and S. Now, the background will, it looks like it's all, well, it is one die, but it will die cut them separately. So you've got Mother, it die cuts the apostrophe, and it die cuts the S separately. So, and then this one, Mom and Day, the background, or the, the background one, it will, it's one die, but it die cuts separate Mom and Day. So there you have it. I like that. And then our final one is the Congratulations Cutout Die Set, and that's just fun. So I put it on a 4-bar card and just die cut it out, and it cuts out your wording, and it cuts out the little hat, which I think is great. You could crank out a bunch of these if you have a bunch of grads that you need to congratulate this season. So there you go. So there were all of our stamps, dies, stencils, all the fun stuff. And I would love to know what was your favorite from this release. Go ahead and leave that down in the comment section down below. Or if there's like a card here you see, you're like, please show me how you did that. Leave that down in the comment section. I often try to do that if I can, but I've been busy trying to make all kinds of stuff to show you. Yeah, so if you liked the video, hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye, everybody.